What up, G?
It's like, is she gonna go low? Is she gonna go high? I'm not sure,
I gotta keep you on
but
your
I'm here for
toes.
it. Yeah, yeah, always. Welcome to episode 48.
Climbing
Ooh,
up there.
we have an extra square. Again, not a square.
Not a square.
She's very cool.
The one, the only, the goddess, the Vanessa. We love you. Thank you for joining us.
I love you, girl.
Yes, yes. So we're gonna intro Vanessa. Lindsay, do you want to start? And I'll add.
Oh my God, I don't know where to start. Just when I think of the essence of this divine feminine in front of me, truly goddess comes to mind. The amazing ability to connect intuitively. She's a
Mm.
phenomenal facilitator, a phenomenal acupuncturist, muscle tester, truly just like so tapped in to health and wellness and guiding her clients to truly be the best that they can be. Well-rounded individual, dope as fuck. My
Yes,
friend.
dope as fuck.
Yes.
Yes. Beautiful. Yeah, and I will add, well, did you have anything else? Okay. I will add to that. Let's see. I met Vanessa back in 2023. I
Mhm.
met her through I was doing this girls club, book club thing, and shout out to Jareen and Ava because they connected me to Vanessa. They were all talking. They were all like, yeah, she's helped me with like digestive stuff and all these like ailments. And I was like, ooh, I just got like
Nice.
this intuitive hit of like, I need to see her. Because at the time I was also dealing with digestive issues, and she's a pro with that. So I went and saw her, and I was just like, oh my God. Not only is she super intuitive, intelligent, and has such integrity with what she does. But our conversations have been just so nourishing. And so I will intro with that. Also, she's a Pisces sun, Pisces moon, and Aries rising. So she's got that water and fire. We love it. Vanessa, would you like to add anything to your intro?
Um, I'm a wife and I am a mother of two teenage boys that are my biggest teachers.
Mm,
Um, yeah, I'm a seeker of truth, especially when it comes to health. And yeah, that's
beautiful. Awesome. Well, let's get into it. So,
awesome.
Tiger Lily Wellness. Vanessa, tell us about how you got into uh, your work. Like, what led you to Tiger Lily Wellness?
Okay, so I grew up in a small rural community. All my family's in Western medicine, which I loved, and I was fascinated with the body. Didn't do really good in math and language, but I excelled in science and any kind of science. So going to college, biochemistry, all on the Western route. I was going to be a ER doc because I felt like that's where Western medicine really shined. Like that's like nobody can hold a candle to that. But I, as a kid, I had asthma and I had digestive issues, and I never really got any of those resolved. And so there was always a little voice inside of me while I was sitting in class going, yeah, but, yeah, but, and that voice got so loud at one point that I told my dad, I said, hey, I would like to take like a year off and just kind of like think about things before we go any further down the road. And he wasn't super excited about that. But I took a job with one of my mom's friends working at a general nutrition center. And we didn't really take vitamins as a kid or really any kind of supplementation. There were a lot of antibiotics, you know,
Mm.
um, the nasty pink, whatever the hell you call it, that stayed in the fridge,
Yeah.
um, amoxicillin. And
Hmm.
so I took a year off. I worked at a GNC center and I really loved it. And one day, this is going to be one of those weird woo-woo moments.
We love woo woo.
I know you
Yeah.
girls do. Your middle names are woo. Um,
True.
That's great.
so I was up front helping a customer, and the mailman came in and he laid down the mail. And as I'm walking later to the island where the mail was, it literally like this piece of paper just kind of went shoo, and
Hmm.
landed on the floor. And I was like, that's really strange. Walked over, picked it up, and it was a something from GNC as to how to set up the next sale. I flipped it over, and there was an advertisement for Oriental Medicine schools, is what they called it at that time
Mm.
in the US. And there was only about, I want to say there were six. There were two in Texas, two on the East Coast, two on the West Coast, and one in Florida.
Hmm.
And it was one of those moments where it was just, I think it was one of the fewer times that I can remember like the divine like coming in and going, "Hey, are you fucking paying attention?"
Mm.
And heart like my heart felt like it just like wide open, got chills, and it was just like a knowing. And I will say that that's probably my biggest one of my biggest knowings. So I called my dad and I said, "Hey, I think I want to go to Oriental Medicine School." And he was like, "Great." And so we came down here and visited, and I fell in love with it, and I was just so like
Mm.
laser beam focused, knowing that this is what I needed to do. So yeah, so I was bummed because I God, I've spent so much time and money getting a
Yeah.
biochemistry degree. And I'm like, God, I'm never going to use that. Here we are talking about qi and meridians and yin and yang and zheng shui and all of these things. I'm having to learn a whole new language, a whole new way to look at the body. And I'm like, damn it, I could have been doing this from the beginning. But I use my biochemistry degree literally every single day,
Oh,
breaking
wow.
down, yeah, breaking down stuff for patients that they didn't get explained to them. So there it is.
That's awesome. So you are using it.
I
You
am.
like combined forces.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Um, Looking back, like, there's always wisdom and hindsight. Looking
Yeah.
back, when you looked at your path towards like being an ER doc,
Mhm.
and you had the Oriental medicine beginnings, what was that like to kind of like reflect back on, oh, I could have taken this path, but I completely shifted.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that like for you?
That's a good question. I would say that, in the moments of really kind of digging into it while I was in the program, it was just kind of like, oh, wow, I could have been down a lot further down the path,
Mm,
that I didn't necessarily want to go down. And you know what, in the woo again, everything happens for a reason. If
hmm.
I had taken that path, it would have just been another, you know,
Yeah.
uh, lifeline, right?
Hmm.
But I'm really enjoying this one. But yeah, I thought it was magic, honestly. Like, holy crap. The divine really
Yeah.
just kind of came in and went, "Meow."
Yeah. Did that open up new parts of yourself that you didn't know about?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially being in the Chinese medicine program, really starting to pay attention and listen to intuition.
Mm,
That
hmm.
that I have had a very strong connection to that my whole life. And maybe you guys have also experienced this, or people that are listening, where that kind of gets quieted, and not for necessarily a terrible
Yeah.
reason from like elders, parents, family members, but they don't know what to do with it.
Hmm.
And so it's like, no, 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 no. You're just a hypochondriac. We don't talk about those things. No, no, no. We're just relax. Like it's okay.
Yeah.
Do that. So being able to like remember like what was that like to like what does that nudge feel like? What does that sound feel like? What is that feeling, so that you can tap more
Yeah.
into that? Being busy in a master's program is crazy busy on all levels. But the more you get your hands on people and the more you're in the room, you start to, or at least for me,
Mm,
I think anybody can do it, but you just start to hear, whether it's hear it or know it or feel it, or all of them, that guidance.
yeah.
So Yeah, it opened up, it made it okay to
Mm.
be that connected and to listen to the woo and to listen to all of that. So, which
Yeah.
is God, what I swim in every day. Just love it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's a good question.
Thank you. Lindsay, I feel like you have something to say.
Um,
I'm going to use my
well,
intuition.
I'm ruminating on like trying to formulate this question in my brain. Um, well, connecting to intuition and when a client comes in or a patient comes in and you can see or sense that they're blocked and they can't quite understand, what it is that their body is telling them. Um, how would you say that you guide or facilitate
Mm.
sessions like that?
That's a good question.
Hmm.
It really is a personalized thing. With being a muscle tester and with having my fingers on so many people's pulses and looking at their tongues, and I mean, having done this for over 25 years, I now have different avenues in. Like there's not a front door.
Mm.
There's side doors, there's windows, the fucking
Mhm.
attic. Like there's and it just kind of like I just kind of walk around the
Mm.
body, the house, if you will, and just see where is there a window open?
Mm.
A lot of times I get that information from like the interview because we do a pretty extensive interview. And sometimes if the patient is really open and really wants to heal, then they might not be saying it, but their field is saying it. And so it's like,
Yeah.
oh, there it is right there. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there. Whether it's with questions, um, sometimes colors,
Mm.
sometimes we'll talk about food, like whatever like comforts the person to be able to like get in there and do some things. Now there are people that come in that are blocked, like you said, Lindsay, and they're just not ready, you
Yeah.
know. They're trying, they're trying. And yeah, I'm not for everybody. So it's very interesting, the people that sometimes they have to come a couple times to
Hmm.
sessions, and we don't delve deep until the time they come in, and I'm like, oh, look, that window's cracked right over there, here we go.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Could you maybe, for those listening that don't know,
Mm.
what would you or how would you describe muscle testing?
It's a good
Okay.
question.
Yeah. It's a little tricky, so I'm gonna come at it from a Western medicine aspect first, because a lot of people we're just what we're used to in our culture. So when you it's kind of a biofeedback system. So I'm getting live bio and I'm getting feedback. So it, there are people that have very expensive machines that can do this kind of stuff. They can register all different kinds of things. The body's nervous system will alter, how should I say this? Alter muscle tone when it is in the presence of a stressor, a chemical, an emotion, those kind of things. So you can read a yes or a no on somebody's body because the nervous system,
Mm.
which I hate calling it the nervous system. Can I just say that?
Yeah.
I like calling it a nerve tree because that's really what it looks like. When we say
Ooh,
nervous,
nerve tree.
the word nervous has a lot of like
Yeah.
sophisticated qualities to it, but the nerve tree in the body knows, you know,
Hmm.
when you're in a room with somebody you don't like, when you're in a situation that you don't like, and we
Hmm.
just we just kind of like throw that off as like, eh, she's just a bitch, or
Hmm.
I don't like the way, whatever it is, but it's a knowing, and
Yeah.
so that's the Western part of it. From a Eastern side of it, or from a more holistic side, it's the same thing I just explained, but it is the body talks. Like we have so much body communication, which I know I don't have to tell you girls.
Mm.
Um, but being able to, and you can use any muscle in the body, but being able to pull in something to somebody's field, their energy field, or put it on their body, depending on the person's health, and see it, for them to see it, but also for me to be able to see what am I getting a yes and a no to.
Mm.
it's really resonance, you know,
Yeah.
when we all three get into a room like we are now, we're all excited and oh, it's like the resonance is real, right? But if that wasn't the case, or we were like say on a doctor visit, or you know, with somebody we didn't like, that resonance gets really kind of staticky and sticky. And so you can do that on, you can read that on somebody's body using a muscle. So I don't know if I did I answer that question?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because right now in my body, I feel very like centered and calm and like excited all at once. I'm like, yes,
Mhm.
I love these people. Let's go.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, that's really cool to hear described. I was also curious, for you, Vanessa, how do you, I'm so curious, like in when you're like muscle testing and you're in it, like do you see images? Do you see colors? Like, how do you conceptualize sort of where you are in that moment? I'm just very curious about how you not just like the mental aspect of it, but the like if you feel things in your body, like what is happening inside of you when you're doing your work?
That's a great question. Um, well, it's changed over the years. So I don't ever hear things.
Mm,
I don't hear a word. I don't hear a voice. I don't hear anything like that. A lot of times I will get images. I think that's probably one of the most powerful ones.
mm,
I'll get a color. I'll get a thing, you know, something like that. Um, and or it's kind of like a clear, what do they call it? Clear, where you just know, like it's a
mm,
knowing.
mm-hmm.
And then,
Clear cognizance.
thank you. Yeah.
Hmm.
And again, I always check myself because I'm not above anybody.
Right.
I'm curious. Like I want to be the body detective and I want to know exactly. So when I say, "Hey, I'm really getting that like I'm getting a bunch of water and I don't know, popcorn or whatever it is." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, that
Yeah.
whatever, whatever it is kind of a thing." But yeah, and I mean I mean, I stay focused, unless I'm with you girls. I stay focused on what the patient's coming in for, where their suffering is, where they're hurting, because ultimately that's I want to regulate the meat suit. You know, we've all
Yeah.
got to walk around in these meat suits. And so when
Hmm.
it's uncomfortable, it's unclear, it's toxic, it hurts. It's hard. It's
Yeah.
hard. And I really truly believe that there is ultimate healing. I know that in our culture, we're not necessarily taught that. I know that we're taught that if something's wrong, you go to a doctor for that specific organ or body part, and it
Mm,
has nothing to do with anything else, which is a crock of shit. Um, and so being able to see what people's total load is, and by
mm,
load, I mean, like, what are they dealing with? Like, what does their garden look like? Your terrain, your terroir, your like, what does that look like?
mm,
Um, and if you look at it that way, a lot of times people's imbalance, like let's just say garden, you've got vegetables growing over here and you've got some flowers over there, but then there's this part right here in the middle that's got like some weeds and it's not growing and it's kind of brown and everything else is doing okay, but this spot right here, so that is where we need to figure out like what is going on for that person.
mm.
And it becomes really clear. Like they start in the room, there's like a whole alchemy that kind of happens. And it's really wonderful and amazing to watch people go, oh, yeah, this, that. And especially women, they'll go, you know, I was just thinking about that the other day, or I had a dream about it, or my mom reminded me, my girlfriend was saying blah, blah, blah. And so, and then being able to like have that conversation, like, yes,
Mm,
that's what I'm talking about. You got to listen. It's showing up for you. This isn't just for me. And then there
yeah.
becomes like this vibration and raising that happens, a frequency that is really cool. But being able to get people's meat suits cleaner,
Hmm.
lighter, um, is God, it just what's it what's it's what lights me up.
Hmm.
So
Beautiful.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Aw-
That's really cool.
It comes in a lot of different ways. Sometimes I'll smell things.
Mm.
Yeah. It really depends on the person. It really
Yeah.
depends on how I need to get the message.
Does it feel like there's a certain signature with each person that you see?
Ooh, that's a good question. Yes and no. I'll
Mm.
say that people that show up with imbalances, say in the gut or the liver or the brain, or for people that have the stressors of, like, say they've got a big fungal load, or they've been exposed to mold, or they have a lot of scars, things that are blocking the energy flow, bacterial. Sometimes those things will show up real similar. Like, and sometimes I'm on fire, as I'd like to say, and it's like as I'm going in the room, I'm like, oh wow, we got fungus. Let's go. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Know?
Yeah.
So, oh my God, it's dumping here. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's signatures, yes and no.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, like
Good.
there's things that you can pick up on, but there's also like a nuance to
Yeah,
people. Yeah.
absolutely.
This is so interesting. Like for all three of us to talk about this because there's these layers that I'm just like very aware of the mental, the physical, the energetic, the
Yeah.
ethereal, right? Like
Oh yeah.
there's all these layers that y- no matter what kind of health related service or mental health related service, you're working with all of those layers,
Yeah.
right? And
Yep.
so and like you were saying earlier, like you can't just, I mean, Western medicine tends to like separate and fragment,
Absolutely.
right? And that's just, like you said, bullshit.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. In Chinese medicine, the body, mind, and spirit are never separated. Like how could
Right.
you, like, you just can't do that. You can't do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is always together. So when we take pulses and we look at the tongue and we ask all the questions, we're looking for more fire, more
Mm.
wood, less water, earth. Like we just like figure out, or metal. Like we're there's so many ways that we can do it, whether it's pulses, tongue, where creases and colors in people's faces. Like it's just
Mm.
it the body goes, can you fucking hear me? Can you see me now? How about now? You
Yeah.
know, if
Yeah.
you're or now, you know.
Oh, I'm definitely clipping that.
Here's Vanessa's mouth.
That's
Uh,
the best.
Hilarious.
but it does. Like there's so much body talk that goes on, you
Mhm.
know, and
Yeah.
even though it's the body, it's like all of those layers. In in Chinese medicine, there's three levels of how something can enter the body. And so you
Mm.
have the Wei Qi, which is like your field, like you're talking about, that ethereal field. And Wei means protective. So
Mm.
you've got this, as you guys know, this bubble, right? This
Right.
energy. Um, and that's kind of the energy in the biofield. And then you have the yin, and that is what we call the nutritional level. And so how that shows up is like people, they're not able to alchemize things.
Mm.
So they don't alchemize water, they don't alchemize food, they don't, like, information. Again, it's not just this physical dense body, it's also the energy body. Um, and then it goes to the blood, and blood is the deepest level, and that's when you hit organs.
Mm.
So that's when the lungs start to not work well, or the kidneys are off, or the liver, and those kind of things. So yeah, it's three
Yeah.
different levels of interference, if you will, from a Chinese medicine aspect.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on this is fresh. I saw this video the other day. The guy was talking about how like you could eat anything and it's like if you are eating with love, then it's still going to be nourishing. Now, I don't think that's like a absolute statement, but I do think that there's something to what he's saying is like how you are with yourself when you're eating directly affects how you digest. Can you
Oh,
speak to that?
absolutely. I totally agree with that. And I mean, that's how we take in fuel, right? That's our energy. That's our currency
Right.
for the suit, right? And so, yeah, I mean, we are, and I think that's a beautiful thing that, however, that came to you because we're so distracted right now.
Hmm.
We're so tired. We're so overstimulated. We're not living in the woods or on the beach, and
Yeah.
we just finished taking, our sweet time to make this meal that maybe we didn't have a meal a couple of days ago, kind of a thing, but we just got one.
Hmm.
And you're mindful, like you're paying attention to how it smells and what it tastes like, and then paying attention to chewing. A lot of times we're, either on our phones or watching TV or having a conversation or like standing up, kind of, getting it done, right? Yeah. So so in Chinese medicine, the spirit, the Shen,
Mm.
that is housed there's in Chinese medicine, there's no brain.
Hmm.
Oh, it's not an organ, but your Shen, as they taught it, is here, and you can see it through the eyes. And so when you go to sleep at night, your consciousness, your mind, your Shen descends and it goes into the heart. And the kidney energy comes up and holds your Shen, your spirit, in your heart. And when you're done resting, the kidney lets go and the Shen comes back out of the heart and into the mind, if you will. And so when you're Shen, you're not completely fully checked in to what it is you're doing, whether it's eating or, you know, uh, reading or whatever it is. You are completely split.
Hmm.
So
Wow.
yeah, completely right. And, your digestion starts with your smell, or actually with a thought. So you think you're hungry and then you think, what am I going to eat? And then you start to make it, or you get it and you start to smell it and then you taste it. And all that time, from a Western medicine aspect, enzymes are being released,
Mhm.
ducts are opening, acid's starting to come on. Like, am I smelling meat or am I smelling veggies? Like the
Mhm.
level of intelligence is incredible.
Wow. Yeah.
So yeah, it's absolutely right. If we are not present, um, or in gratitude,
Mm.
uh, then yeah, I mean it's important to take a moment and just stop and
Yeah.
have that moment. Absolutely.
Yeah. Beautiful. I did not know that. That's such cool information. Wow.
Good. Yeah, because otherwise you're just dumping stuff in their bodies like, oh shit, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Hold on a minute. You know,
Yeah.
and I'm getting there. Come on. So
For
yeah.
sure. Interesting. Dang.
Yeah, it's probably it's one of the things that I think that we should be the most mindful of
Hmm.
when because this is our fuel. This is our physical currency and it's our center. And so if the digestive system is off, everybody doesn't get the fuel and the information that they need all over the body. So it needs to be I mean, in Chinese medicine they call it the center. So
Mm.
very, very important. Just like the
Yeah.
kitchen. It's kind of the center of the
Yeah.
house. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Can you, I don't know if y'all hear my cat. She's screaming.
Nope.
She's like, "Yeah, Vanessa, that's right." Um,
That's my
She
scent.
always makes an appearance.
she does.
She
Um,
knows. She
Mhm.
knows.
can you speak to, because I've heard words like dampness or dryness, and I know dampness is a big one in our culture. Can you
Yeah.
speak to that and what that
Uh,
means and maybe something about like how to work with that?
yeah. So dampness, think Houston, think Miami,
Yeah.
think juicy armpits. Like it's it is that warm, wet, and sometimes even to the point of making like a physical layer of something.
Mm-hmm.
And so just as an example, like when somebody gets sick or they're detoxing from something and they get really snotty or they're coughing up chunks of stuff, that is like the classic example of what dampness could be. It doesn't have to be mucus, but it is that kind of consistency in the system. So
Mm,
you can have dampness in the lungs, you can have dampness in the ears, you can have dampness systemic wide, you can
mm,
have it in one leg, one toe. Um, the body usually will balance itself or try to balance itself. That garden will try to balance itself, and so it will try to spread things out. Like, hey, can you take up a little bit over here? Can you handle a
mm.
little bit of this because I'm getting a little bit full? So it's heavy. It is not energizing. It's tiring. Think of like a hot wet rag on your system. So, and again, in Chinese medicine, it's not just, oh, hi, kitty. It's not just the physical presence of, but it can also be dampness in the mind. So you can
Oh,
have a
okay.
hard time, like it's foggy, like
Uh-huh.
you're driving through fog, that's
Yeah.
dampness. So it can be a dampness in your mind, it can
Huh.
be a dampness in your physical body.
Wow. So I'm curious what that translates emotionally, if there's like mental dampness and then also emotional dampness.
Yes. Yes, and that what that would look like, and I don't know if this I'm answering this correctly for you. If not, please ask me. But
Yeah.
it is usually foggy mind, and it's usually low mood. So
Mm.
people will say, I'm just I'm apathetic. I don't give a fuck. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Okay,
I'm
that makes
not worried
sense.
about getting out of bed. I can't get out of bed. I don't fucking care about getting out of bed.
Yeah.
So slogging through
Yeah, like a
mentally and
hopeless,
physically.
yeah, like a
Sure.
hopeless,
Yes.
helpless kind of feeling.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow. That is so interesting to like pull apart those layers
Yep.
and see how they translate physically, emotionally, mentally.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then how would you facilitate moving out of that?
Yep. Good
Mm-hmm.
question. So if the person's coming in for acupuncture, then I'm going to choose points on the very specific meridians. The spleen is the organ that can manage dampness, but also gets weakened by too much dampness. Again, that yin and yang is always there. It's always like the powerful and then the weakness that comes
Mm.
through, or the darkness and the lightness, and they're never not. There's all the body's always looking for balance. So I would definitely do a lot of points on the spleen channel and drain that out. A lot of times, people when I do that, they're like, "Oh my God, I have to go pee," after their appointment. Like, I gotta go right now.
Yeah.
Um, Sometimes they'll tell me that that they just sweat like the next couple days they were just sweating, or they pooped out something that was just weird and stinky and gross, or
Mm-mm.
the urine is cloudy.
Mm.
If they wanted some muscle testing, or some herbs and minerals, and if you think about it like this, dampness is kind of like what we're experiencing probably right here, right now. It's dark outside, it's wet, it's
Yeah.
heavy, right? What I want to do from a supplementation or an herbal aspect is bring sunshine. Like I want to bring
Mm.
light into that. I want to bring air into that because that's going to blow away the fog. It's going to light up everything. It's going to burn away the dampness,
Yeah.
the heaviness that's there. So, and yeah, and when I muscle test, what if somebody's coming in with like a really thick coat on their tongue, because that's how I could tell that they also have dampness, or they're swelling somewhere, or something's hurting, or they've got something that's oozing, then I'm going to look for the stressors that are probably causing that in the body, which is a high viral load,
Mm.
high bacterial load, but definitely a high fungal load,
Mm.
which that's probably one of the number one things that we as human meat suits um have to clear. Like I there and I love that you said layers because there's always layers.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
Yeah,
that's a big one. That's a big one. And
that
it's
makes
sticky.
sense. That's
Yeah.
also really interesting too to think about like the dampness related to like victimizing self.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like not recognizing your own agency and just being stagnant in life and how um, I feel like that translates. And then I think about, Lindsay and I do a lot of work with inner child. So like
Hmm.
seeing the translation of, I'm just curious, like what happens when you start really developing that relationship with your inner child and how does that show up in the body in terms of like, for example, dampness, you
Hmm.
know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And getting even deeper that there are coping mechanisms. People will get into a pattern of, well, when I get really stressed out, whether they know it or not, which I think
Mm-hmm.
you'd probably agree, a lot of people don't know it, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to I'm going to manifest this symptom pattern because I would get attention or I would be
Yes.
left alone
Mm-hmm.
or something like that when my stomach would hurt or when my foot would not feel good or when I get headaches.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you can actually definitely pull those patterns in and up when, you know, you feel like you need support or
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to get out of something or you're uncomfortable or something comes up for you
Yeah.
and you kind of really just like move back into that old pattern. And
Mm.
and I will say, I know I see it, I have seen it so many times where they will actually manifest the symptom. Like they were fine, everything was fine.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the stomach pain comes back on, or the migraines show back up, or, the constipation shows up, or yeah,
Mm.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense since it would be paired with, oh, this is the main way or the biggest way that I received support.
Yep.
Yeah, or connection or whatever, right? In that realm.
Yep.
Um, yeah, that is a strong neural pathway, no doubt about it.
Absolutely. And the physiology.
Mm,
So from a
hmm.
Chinese medicine, the shin follows the mind. So,
Mm,
I'm sorry, the shin follows the blood. So
okay.
if you are pushing into that pattern, your meat suit will follow. Like your body doesn't know the difference between if something is real
Hmm.
or or it's just, a fucked up thought pattern
Yeah.
that we're in. Like, no, the chemicals are already going, just like we were talking about with food. Like I smell the steak.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. And you
Yep.
start doing all the stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's so true. Yeah, I the other day I had this realization of an unconscious pattern that I had no idea I was in until finally I realized I was in. And it was so interesting because what came up was I was feeling tension in my body
Mm-hmm.
and I've been in this sort of like ambiguous place with certain dating situations
Mm-hmm.
and I've realized that I was operating under this unconscious belief that if I felt tension in my body, it was because I had already failed at listening to myself
Ooh.
inside of this situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I played out like unconsciously that even before anything happened, I had already failed at trusting myself. And I
Oh
was
yeah.
like, holy shit. I realized that I was in meditation and I realized it. And I was like, oh my God, I feel so much relief from just realizing that. And
Yep.
that was such a nuanced, like subtle belief that I was living under, you
Yep.
know? So
Yeah.
yeah, sneaky
That's
little beliefs.
Oh, sneaky little bitchy beliefs. Yes. And
Mhm.
I mean, that's so huge that you can do that,
Yeah.
and we get so used to our suffering, even though we hate it and we don't like it and it hurts like shit. But you know what? It's familiar.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
So, yeah, being able to become, like you just said, the observer of the observer. Holy
Mm-hmm.
shit. That's that's the juice right there, girl.
Is. It's a superpower, no doubt
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Lindsay, did you have anything?
Um, I'm formulating a lot of things over here.
I know there's some really good ooey gooey things that we're talking about.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're so in tune with the science of your practice, and then you're so in tune with your intuition. And I'm curious, what is it like when you have a client that is also very in tune with their intuition? How does that begin to either open things up or shift how you facilitate?
Oh, that's such a good question.
It is.
It's so good. And I know I can speak to this with you ladies because this is what we do in the room.
Mhm.
But it's so much fun. Like you just like we just kind of like, yeah, and what about this? And what about that? And it just starts cracking the room open. It starts
Yeah.
cracking the space open. I love those kind of appointments. I am calling in more of those
Mm.
because it's just a whole nother level. I treat mainly women. I do treat some men. But you know, women are they're the seekers or the feelers. And so when something is off, whether they know exactly what it is or not, sometimes they just wander in into the
Mm.
clinic, you know, somehow, somewhere, like, you know, kind of a thing. But that is so much magic. It's so much alchemy. It's so healing for me. Like my clients just teach me so much,
Mm.
and I feel so honored to be in the space with them and that they're trusting me. And when something like just a normal appointment, but when something like that happens, it is it's huge. And I always ask permission, like, can you do we want to can we talk about can I say what's coming
Mm.
forward for me? And then they match it, and it just becomes magic. It
Mhm.
literally is like the magic of alchemy, of whatever needed to come in at that moment, whether it was, you know, I think it was definitely divinely guided, but you know, their guides, their angels, like all of
Mm.
it just kind of like turns into this amazing soup. And oh God, it's just so good. It's so good. That's usually when I'm dancing, booty dancing here in the office. I'm like,
Yes,
yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Um, I had a question for you. Oh yeah, okay. So if if you think about like when you started your practice,
Hmm.
um, what would you tell yourself, like your younger self, now that you know what you know, the wisdom of the practice that you've created, what would you tell her?
Oh my God, you're gonna make me cry. Um,
I'm pretty good at that.
I know you are. Um, God, the first thing that comes to mind is just trust. Like
Mm.
I love my family, and I chose them, and and I'm so grateful for them. And I wasn't taught how to trust myself.
Mm.
That wasn't like you leave that up to other people, especially being in a Western medicine family. Like, you know, if
Yeah,
something's wrong, you go ask somebody what's going on versus
right.
like really kind of like tuning in and listening. Um,
Mm.
so I would tell her to trust and be fucking big.
Mm.
Be fill out all the space that you possibly can, not in a, you know, arrogant, shitty way or ego way, but just
Yeah.
like show up in all of it, and it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And yeah, it would be trust.
Wow.
For sure.
That's
Yeah.
massive.
Yeah. Yeah. I have, yeah, it would definitely be trust. And, you know, I, at some point in my life, um, really stepped into not giving a fuck. And I've got some pretty thick skin.
Mhm.
which probably came from a bunch of, bullying and all that shit. But I, I just, yeah, like being being okay with the knowing and trusting and leaning into that.
Mm,
There's so much knowing. There just
yeah.
really is, especially for women.
Mm,
And we just kind of go, oh no, that couldn't be it. Or we don't catch it in time and it's just it's gone.
yeah. Yeah.
But really stepping into that, like, and not having to move so fast. Like just give it a minute. Just give it a
Mhm.
minute. I'm just gonna sit with that for just a minute. Hold the fuck on. Oh.
I like that. Hold the fuck on.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this is such an important topic. Uh,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Okay. So let's dive deeper into this one. Um, yes. Okay, let's go back even further, Vanessa. Like you as a little kid,
Uh-huh.
you now visiting inner child Vanessa, what would you want to say to her?
Ooh. You're safe.
Mm,
You're safe. Um, I had a lot of fear growing up. And so, and that, yeah, everything is going to be okay and that you are safe.
hmm, yeah.
Yeah.
And that is like, I mean, the foundation to trust yourself is
Mm,
safety. Like
mm,
you cannot trust yourself if you are in survival mode,
oof. Yeah.
right? Like you're just trying to like get from one thing to another. And so um getting to create that safety
Mhm.
inside of yourself is
Yeah,
so big.
it is.
Yeah.
It is. It's so interesting. Yeah, that I hadn't put those two together, but yeah, that trust and that safety were mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that's why like I love what I do so much and I love what Lindsay and I do so much because when we work with participants in our workshop and we see these little kids inside of them who are just like
Oh,
craving for safety.
yeah.
And the adult self is like, I don't understand why I keep doing these patterns. Like they don't align. And I feel like I'm just spinning. And it's like every time we get to that younger self, and I know I've done it in my own personal work too, is like
Mm.
holding little me when she's just so terrified and saying the fears and saying the things that I just
Oh,
shoved away has created so much safety inside of myself.
yeah.
Um, and then in the work that Lindsay and I do, creating that container for people to speak the things that maybe they never got to speak, is just such an honor.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
And
huge.
then you do that too. Like I've experienced you is such a safe place to come to and say the things and like even before I get on the table, like you are alchemizing things with me because of your presence. Like you're not efforting it, you are present with me doing that. And that's such a gift.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. Well, I feel like both of you do the same thing for me too.
Mm,
It's yeah, it's fun. It is
it
so much
is.
fun to be in the presence of somebody who is, yep, safe to be around and powerful and
Mm-hmm.
grounded and is like, hey, what do you need? Like,
Yeah.
let's create it right now. Like, let's go. What's the recipe?
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
powerful.
It is. Yeah.
I and just thank you both of you for all of the
Mm.
amazing alchemizing that you guys have done for me too.
Oh, you're
Mm,
welcome. It's an honor.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lindsay, did you have anything?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So
I
I
could
know
feel it.
that
Every time I'm like, she has something to say, I could
Mhm.
feel it in my
Uh-huh.
own system. I'm
Yep.
like,
Oh yeah.
Get it, girl?
We're so connected.
Yeah.
Just, oh my God, I want to offer testimony to you and to Doug because um, I was so lost and so frustrated and truly like wondering if I should like file disability because of where I was in healing my brain and healing my body. And so fucking frustrated with doctors. Like, literally, had some doctors say, "You're damaged for life." And then on the other end of the spectrum, "This is in your head. You're doing this for attention."
Mm.
So, thank you to you and to Doug for holding such amazing space and curiosity, truly just curiosity, like, oh, what does this do? And what does this do? And how are you feeling on these supplements? Just, I remember, so I had the honor of being able to work for you both, and I started part-time and was terrified to even tell you that I had a brain injury because I was like, am I going to lose this job? Like,
Mm.
what is going to happen? But I was softly and gently encouraged by wonderful, beautiful Nay to open up and to be vulnerable and say, this is where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful that I did because with your help and with your loving guidance and sometimes stern, what the fuck are you doing? Was so beautiful. And I'm so grateful. I'm like, I truly point my fingers to Tiger Lily Wellness for
Yeah.
the amazing healing that I have experienced because of your facilitation and Doug's facilitation. I will absolutely always rave about you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And also I'm just sort of curious, like, what can share about what it was like to facilitate a traumatic brain injury and a
Mm.
woman who is like legit going through her own Kundalini rising simultaneously. And I was like a hot mess when I arrived.
Um, so I will say this. I did not think you were a hot mess. And I know that we can be hard on ourselves as to you like, I know what I'm capable of. I know da 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 da, and I'm not fucking there. Um, it did not show.
Mm.
Um, and I will say that you were transparent and trusted enough to just open up about it, you know? And it was an honor to hold space and let you teach me and allow your body to tell me what it needed. You know, we went through a bunch of different levels and phases and layers.
Mm.
Um, it was beautiful to see. It was really beautiful to see. Um, I had a couple of other, I mean, I've had a couple of I don't know if it would be considered traumatic. I don't know. You're more versed on that for me, but I've had multiple concussions. So I could empathize on a couple of levels. And yeah, it was just beautiful to see you like drop a layer and then you just drop another layer and really step in back into well, I mean, shit. I mean, I didn't know you before, but I think that you have like fucking blown doors and surpassed what you have told me and what I
Mhm.
was able to feel into who you were before.
Mhm. Yeah,
And
it's been a
and
gift.
as
Yeah.
fucked, yeah, that's
Mhm.
what I was gonna say. As fucked up as it was, god
Mhm.
damn, has it been like it cracked you open and the fucking light came in, you
Yeah,
know?
absolutely.
Mm.
So there's always gifts
Yeah.
in the suffering if we can sit in that fire long enough to ask for help and do the work. And you are so down to do the fucking work.
Oh my God,
Just
thanks.
so
I
amazing.
like get charged up. I'm like, okay, great. I've got to do assignment. Awesome. Here we're gonna lean in. But thank you so much. Thank you.
Oh,
I can't rave about you and Doug enough. I'm so grateful.
it's so
Yeah.
my pleasure. So my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for because you could have not said anything
Mm.
and just held it. That's not who you are, but
No.
you know, People do that, you know,
Right.
That's
staying comfortable in that shitty ass suffering, you
Oh,
know.
yeah. Yeah. It for me it wasn't an option. And I kept saying, okay, I've been guided here in this healing space for a reason. Not only can I show up in service, but I can also show up and receive.
Oh yeah,
So, yeah,
so
mm,
good.
it was so sacred. What you do is so sacred. Yeah.
Right back
yeah,
at you, lady.
definitely. Yeah, beautiful. Oh, I love witnessing this. So good.
It's
Yeah,
powerful.
yes. Vanessa, is there anything that we haven't covered that you would really like to touch on?
I would like to say that having done this for 25 years, almost 26, that
Hmm.
unfortunately, I just see people's bodies, um, unfortunately, getting sicker and sicker. And I think we've spoken to a couple of those things as to why that is. I think it has a lot to do with environment.
Hmm.
I think it has a lot to do with the state of the world and this planet, simply because we are not separate from
Yeah.
Mother Nature. And I think that a big reason for the sickness is that we, as a people, have stepped further and further away from nature. We've stepped further and further away from seasons, and
Yeah.
the the shitty light that we live under, and the chemicals in our food, and the things that people think are food and they're not, and um the electronics and those kind of things. We do have these physical dense bodies, but we also have, electromagnetic fields, and we're able to do this right now and send this out to the world because of technology. So we were supposed to be here. This is all happening for a reason. And what I wish is that people would pay closer attention to how they feel and who they are and what's not
Mm.
aligned for them,
Yeah.
and seek somebody out that can help you, um, you guys have the right resonance with,
Hmm.
to clean up the body, and like with what you guys do, clean up the mind, like let's pull those things out of our system.
Hmm.
I think as women, we sense and feel so much, whether we know it or not, and we have a tendency to shove things in our systems.
Yeah.
Um, and that energetic emotion, trauma, I have seen turn into physical things. And I hate that. I hate that for women. I think that cleaning up the body is going to do nothing but help clean up the mind, or get clarity or spotlight on other things that need to be cleaned up in the system. So, unfortunately, I feel like our meat suits are under attack in a lot of ways. And sometimes it only takes a couple of things to get to another level of clarity or health, to where you can be vital and you can have an energetic and amazing life. And I think there's a lot of people that are just kind of going through the motions and getting to the next day.
Mm.
And for women that feel that way, or for women that are worried about their children, I love treating children because they they shift fast. They're so
Hmm.
clean, they're so pure, they haven't been completely mucked up yet with, all of the adult things. And yeah, I wish women would slow down and pay attention and find some practitioners that can help them
Yeah.
liberate some of those things, find more freedom, and find more vitality in their life. And I do it the way I do it. You guys do it the way you do it. And I think we live in a time where it is the age of discernment.
Mm.
And for women my age, I'm 49, and what I have really found with my clients and myself is that as we get as women get into their 30s and higher, there's really a level of refinement. Like
Mm,
we can refine our mind, we can refine our spirit, we can refine our body, we can refine our decisions, we refine our friend groups, we refine, like,
mm,
I think it's just what we do. And coming back to that where I don't need that anymore. I will not do that anymore. You're letting things go and just getting down to what is very, very important for you, what feeds you physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Like, I think we just do so much better there. And saying no a whole lot more,
mm.
you
Mhm.
know?
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
think
Oh yeah.
yeah. So,
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
getting back to nature and back to balance is, I think, ultimately what we need to remember.
Can you speak to, like, I feel like you've touched on this a little bit, like in our society, we tend to have a really negative view of aging.
Mm,
And I hear
yeah.
this all the time, like, older women say, "Oh yeah, it's because I'm getting older." And I'm just like, bullshit. Like,
Mm,
you're taking on a belief that is not supportive. Like, can you speak to that piece?
yeah. Um, yeah, I think you're right. I think that is in our cultural field.
Hmm.
You know, in most tribal cultures, the women, the older women, the crows, if you will, the women that have stopped bleeding and are no longer fertile, and they are the wise elders.
Yeah.
Like they are the healers. They are the shamans.
Hmm.
And they are the ones who make the decisions. And so, I mean, what the fuck, ladies?
Yeah.
Like, we need to like step into that.
Yes.
We have been here, we are sensitive, we feel, we seek. It's all available to us.
Hmm.
And I think that's what I was speaking to just a minute ago. Like this is a season of refinement, and it just gets more and more and more and more tightened down, but not in a bad way. Like in a way that is, and not necessarily black and white. It's just what do you now know what serves you and what doesn't on all the levels.
Yeah.
And if we can sit in that and hold that and say no a whole lot more, because
Hmm.
no's a complete motherfucking sentence.
Yes.
I think that we could really raise the vibration of so much.
Hmm.
I mean, so much. And yeah, I don't I yeah, so many women ask me, they say, "Oh, wow, like you just kind of let I can't do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that." I'm like, "Girl, this is chrome on the hot rod. I earned this shit."
That's right.
Yes.
But they're trying to, to not have any wrinkles
Mm,
and suck on
Mhm.
it and like no. If you want to
mm,
be strong, great, but don't
mhm,
step
mhm.
into the, oh, it's because, like, yeah, I
Yeah.
think that is a spell and not a good one.
Mm.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and I
Yes.
think that that's driven by culture. I think it's
Yeah.
driven by, the big machines, if you will, of telecommunication and
Mm,
food and drug companies and all
Yeah.
of that shit. So yeah, if they can keep you small and keep you sick for a good long time, they're
Yeah.
doing good.
mm, mhm.
Yep.
So, and I'm here to disrupt that shit. Fuck them. Fuck that.
Fuck
No,
yeah.
no, we're not doing that. We're not.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Rebel.
absolutely.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lindsay, did you have anything?
Mm-mm. No, just keep on keeping on. Thank you
Yeah.
for showing up and doing things that you do. It's
Oh,
such an inspiration. Yeah.
It
oh,
is. Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. Vanessa, do you want to tell everybody about like the services that you provide? I know you talked about acupuncture, but anything else that you would like to tell about what you do?
Um, yes, so I do acupuncture, lots of herbs. minerals and supplementation. I love muscle testing people because we can figure out if at what level, if the body has toxicity or if it's hungry, if it's
Mm,
starving for something. A lot of times the body isn't working correctly because it's hungry. It's not that it's just toxic, but it needs some food. Maybe some specific organs need some food. So muscle testing, we do cupping. Cupping is a very popular thing that Chinese medicine has been doing for thousands of years. Really helps with like, neck, shoulders, pain, injury, that kind of stuff. Um, so yeah, muscle testing, nutritional. I do telemed. I do see people all over the country. Um, as weird as it might sound, which I'm fucking glad it sounds weird, I can muscle test somebody in fucking Chicago,
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because we're working with the quantum field. Like I don't feel like we have. I feel like the limitations that we have
Mm-hmm.
on healing or believing are again in the cultural field. It's what we've been raised to think that,
Right.
that's
Yeah.
that's not where I want to be. That's not where
Yeah.
people are. So, yeah,
Yeah, so she's not just in located for services in Texas. It's
yeah,
all over. Yeah,
absolutely.
beautiful. Um, I'm so glad you came on.
I'm so glad y'all asked.
Yeah, we'll have to have you on again because there's so much more to dive into.
Hmm.
But yeah, Vanessa, I really appreciate you showing up and
Got it.
sharing your wisdom and your genius. So thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's my pleasure. Thank you guys for inviting me. So good to
Yeah,
see you
you
guys.
are so
So
welcome.
glad you guys are doing this and like rippling this
Yes.
fucking magic woo medicine woman energy out there.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Also, everybody, audience, if you want to like know the embodiment of Pisces energy, that is Vanessa. Like
Oh,
what
yeah.
she talked about, that's so Pisces. Like the intuitive muscle testing, like felt sense, not seen with the physical eye. Like Vanessa, you embody Pisces.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you. Love it. Cool. Well, yeah. Check out Vanessa. Vanessa, what is your website?
TigerLilyAcupuncture.com. And then we have some online services at Clearly Better Health where we have a metabolic program, we
Mhm.
have a gut healing program, and then we also have, ready for this, coffee enema program. Yes, I am sending out the vibes for women putting coffee up their ass. Yes.
Yes.
Ladies, if you're drinking it, it's going in the wrong hole. I know nobody told you, but I'm gonna tell you. And I'll even show you in my program. You can watch me. Well, it's not like that,
Well, yes.
but it is very tutorial.
Awesome.
Vanessa, you don't have an OnlyFans. That's you're not saying
No, 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 nope.
That's
that is
great.
great. Yeah. And we'll put your I'll get your like all the links if you want to send me them so I can put
Okay.
that in the info so people can just click. Cool. All
Awesome.
right. Well, audience, we love y'all. We love Vanessa. Thank you, Vanessa. And we're
Love
gonna
you guys too.
call it a night.
Awesome.
Bye,
We
y'all.
love you. Bye.
Love you.